Steve, do you know what a rim job is? Let me explain it for you.
No, let's just show it to him next week. CJ Stroud's face looks like it has like 10 vials of Botox in his cheeks. It reminds me of a Muppet.
Have you ever gotten like the snot knocked out of you and like you have to poop? It's not good. You know?
Was his hair still like one of those like...
No, he's got color hair now.
His hair used to look like a jack. That was hysterical. Just following that shit last night.
Oh my god, I can't believe I won on the last fucking play. I just want to start out by saying thank God that my phone battery lasted throughout my son's soccer game, because the 1 o'clock games were insane.
I missed him.
You know, I'm going to start out with this. CMC.
Done.
What, you think he's done?
Oh, maybe they'll use him one last time, but he's a 7th round draft pick now.
Yeah. So he was, a lot of people's number one pick this year. He's going to be out. He's going to be missing an extensive amount of time. Did they give an exact amount or no? They just said, hey, he's out, IR at least 4 weeks.
IR at least 4 weeks from what I saw. It's they can get by without him. Jordan Mason's been a stud.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Pacheco with the way he runs styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, very aggressive.
Got some aspects.
So do you trade him knowing that CMC might be back at the end of the year? No?
I'm holding.
Okay.
I don't know. Because they don't have Elijah Mitchell either. He's on IR, season-ending IR, I believe. Right. So if they have Mason there, that's quality insurance.
Okay. The second...
You know, quality insurance, like the sponsor we don't have.
Yo.
We'll get one of them.
Yeah, Fred's going to help us. All right? Fred's got
Fred's
this.
Working on it.
Fred's been working on it, all right? Fred? He just looks out the window all day. Next big injury. Who is going to step up in that Rams offense?
Robinson.
DeMarcus Robinson.
I mean, after Kupp went down, they kind of spread the ball out a little bit.
Could be the tight end.
Yeah, it could be, but I think that they're going to spread the ball out and run the hell out of the ball. Sean McVay, again, a great coach. We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a change. Big change.
I feel bad. Me and Sean were literally watching this game live, and I'm like, not good. You know, Tua going down. You know, he had the T-Rex arm, and I'm like, did you see that? He's like, yeah, I saw it.
And hit by DeMar Hamlin, too.
It could be career ending, man. The aspect of these head injuries, like I automatically thought of Eric Lindros. You know, ran his career short. He deals with chronic headaches, and like, you know, I feel bad for the kid. I do. I didn't believe in him when he came out, but you know, I don't want to see people getting hurt.
Not like that.
Nah. That leads me to I believe it's 4 players are wearing the Guardian caps live this year. Is that something that you think that you're going to see?
Yes. I'm going to see a lot of that. He can't get on the field without one.
Yeah. No, he needs bubble wrap.
Well, one guy who was doing that was the Browns linebacker. I believe it's Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and he was still everywhere. So, like, you kind of think to yourself, when a guy wears something as big as that on the helmet like that, it's going to kind of impact, like, their game and their mobility and how they perform on the field. And it didn't impact him at all. He was still flying around and making the Jaguars' lives miserable on Sunday. So it was really, if there's anybody to look at for anybody who's considering it, kind of look at the tape for him, and maybe that can be sort of a motivating factor to possibly wear it to extend your career by another couple years. Whoever
I
says
could see
possible.
the NFL jumping in and saying all quarterbacks need to wear it next year.
I don't. And marketing.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's a thing, though. You're marketing a new product for safety, and then the children will have it. Like, this is something that's protection. It's safety. So they have to push it.
It's growing the game.
Do you think that they're going to put a hard shell over it, though?
I don't know what they're made out of.
It just looks like foam to me.
I do not know enough about them, I'll be honest,
impact
but
foam, I don't know. My thought process is I don't see, it's almost like going back to leather helmets. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as aesthetics. It
goes over top of your helmet, that's all.
No,
it goes over top.
I know, but you don't have the logo on the helmet.
Yes, you do. That's the whole thing.
So you can put the logo on the protection, though. They can probably design a logo on it.
Yeah, that's my thought process.
Regardless of if he thought he was a good enough quarterback or not, like, he's definitely a marketable figure for Miami and the NFL, and especially, like, being kind of of Hawaiian descent and all that stuff. I can kind of agree with what Sean said about possibly putting on at least the quarterbacks just for the sake of keeping them around for as long as possible.
Yep. Big Red's back. I didn't even know he was still in the league. And honestly, I mean, with Tannehill, out and things of that nature, or, Tannehill not having a team, the news with Bryce Young getting benched. Man.
Great college quarterback, not an NFL quarterback.
You know what I did like about this story, though, is Thielen was like, it's not a him problem. It's our offense. They suck. I took him over Stroud, which is, you look back at your draft picks, there are some that you're just like, I nailed it. And there are some where you're like, man. I just, for me, why I went with Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud or any of those other quarterbacks that came out that year was I believed in Frank Wright. And I was like, all right, offensive coordinator, head coach now, he gets his first shot. They're still going to be horrible. I mean, I think Frank Wright is still a good coach, but that's the reason I picked Bryce Young.
Well, Frank Reich didn't want Young; he wanted Stroud, and
yes.
Ownership came in and said, "No, we're going to take Bryce Young." But you look at this trade, look back at this trade now. So, 23 draft traded away pick 9 and pick 61 to the Bears, along with DJ Moore, along with the 24 first round pick that ended up being the number 1 pick, 2025 second, and then you look at what the Bears ended up getting from that. They got Darnold right because they traded with the Eagles to so they could get Jalen Carter. So they traded one spot back. They ended up getting Darnell Wright, Tariq Stevenson, Caleb Williams. They still have that 25 second and DJ Moore. And it's like, this is one of the steals of the century. You look back at the Herschel Walker deal, the great train robbery with the Cowboys that determined the fate of them in the 90s to a degree. And if the Bears end up being really good, which time will tell, but this will be looked at as one of the craziest trades that you'll ever see.
Bottom line, what's the management doing down there?
It's Peppers, man. He's an owner. He's kind of like the Mets owner is a hedge fund. Mm-hmm. It's about money, trying to find pieces, doesn't know what he's doing in football.
I saw empty seats this weekend. It's a train wreck. And, fortunately, I made a trade with Sean where I gave away 3 young players for Williams on the Lions, which is looking pretty good right now. 4 room on my roster and taking defensive players. Anybody that's playing Carolina, I'm picking up. And bottom line.
DFS through the moon.
My last stat for Bryce. He has 106 completions without a touchdown.
Yep,
that's wild to me. Meanwhile, I'm trying to remember what CJ
Stroud was over 240 maybe, without an interception.
Sean, I know you don't want to talk about it. Your Giants lost to 7 field goals. My guy down in Washington couldn't punch it in. Jalen Daniels.
I would have won if he did.
Mind-boggling. Yeah. So think about that. 7 red zone trips.
Yep.
Not 1 touchdown.
Nope.
Ugh. Bad call by me last week. He was my rookie that I thought stood out. He drove down the field pretty easily against that defense, but just couldn't punch it in.
Happens.
That whole situation was crazy though because because Graham Gano was on the injury report Saturday night, and they never activated a second kicker for Sunday. And so I don't remember if it was the groin first and then the hammy or vice versa. But anyway, like, how do you not activate a second kicker for that?
How can not one of those athletes not kick a ball through the thing? How can not
kicking's
one
hard,
of them,
man. It's all
one
technique.
of them was a kicker at one point in their youth.
You see how many guys are kicking the 50-yarders now, though? I mean, these
but
guys are
we didn't need a
ridiculously
50-yarder. We just needed someone to kick it in.
Man,
well, that's also true.
Does it come down to coaching?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when we get to the Eagles, that's all I'm going to be talking about because
I don't know if it's yeah, I guess it is the coaching because, dude, the punter can't kick a field goal or an extra point, so we had to go for 2-point conversions. Like, why? Why couldn't he do it?
All right, here's my question about the next game, the Chiefs and Bengals. Do you think the officiating ruined that game?
Do you think the officiating ruined the Super Bowl with the Eagles and Chiefs?
It's all part of the game, guys.
that's kind of, you go back to that, it's a similar thing.
It's called a
like,
strip.
was it a penalty by the book? Yeah. Is it suck when a game is determined solely from that? Also, yeah. It's just, you knew something was going to happen. You just knew something was going to happen based off of history and based off of fate and the fact that the Chiefs literally, it seems like everything will go their way even when it doesn't. So it's just,
it's the football
it's a
cards.
weird feeling.
I was impressed with the Bengals coming back and playing a game that like that. You know, the way that they lost Week 1 against New England, to come back against the Super Bowl champions, defending Super Bowl champions. We'll see, man. Pacheco, broken fibula. So he's going to be out. He's on the IR. He's going to be out for a while. Today, we got the news that they signed Kareem Hunt, to the practice squad. I think that they're going to give him a few weeks to try and get up to speed, but I'm not a believer. I would not. I have no interest.
I can't believe you think they're going to wait 3 weeks.
Why?
Because they could bring him up this week.
They don't need to.
Are you going to put out?
The system that he was in before hasn't changed.
Thank you, Steve. That was our argument earlier.
That's fine. Next gen stats.
I just feel like if somebody knows that system.
Last year, the slowest running back. What do you want in running backs?
Vision.
Okay.
Vision and their familiarity with the scheme.
You guys take them. You use your fab.
I did. Everyone they sit there and wait, and I see the signs. I'm like, click, click, click. And he's gone.
What signs do you see? You haven't seen. You're an eyeball guy. You watch the game, okay?
I know where he's coming from. I can't believe they brought him back.
You have how many teams out there that didn't sign him in the offseason because he's that good?
But he's familiar with the scheme.
So are the guys that have been in camp and playing every week with these since August.
Andy Reid has a method. He knows the scheme.
Practice squad. If he was that good, he would get signed to the active roster.
He will be up here. He will be up more quickly. I think it could be this week.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. But here's the other thing.
I don't want to slap you.
Given the nature... I was going to say, here's the thing. Given the nature of how he left the team, it's a really good comeback story if he ends up playing and playing really well with them because of his incident before that led to his cut. He pretty much lied to them, and it was a very sad story, just given everything that happened. Yeah, he's matured
now. I believe it.
I think it's just a matter of...
He's not getting pulled over in Cleveland.
If he ends up doing well, it's going to be a really good story.
No, I agree with you, Steve. I would love to see him come back and win a Super Bowl.
Not me.
Sorry.
I don't want to see a three-peat.
Why? That's generational.
Why? Did you like watching the New England go?
Yeah, you know what? And then we know why I liked it? Because the Giants own Brady.
The shocking games of the week. How about those 49ers? How about them Niners? A little beat up, Debo went down in that game. But I think the big story is the Vikings.
Sam Darnold.
Man.
That throw for the 97-yarder was unbelievable.
That was wild. End zone to end zone. I look back at it and I was like, it was a 50-yard pass in the air. If not more. Yeah. Again, this week was just nothing but shocking things happening. I love week 2. We have so much to talk about. let's move on to the Saints beating the Cowboys because, again, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I was at my son's game on my phone. I don't have notifications from text messages, but fantasy football I do. My phone was buzzing nonstop. I'm like, nah, this can't be right. 21? Carr just threw another bomb? Like, what the hell is going on? Kamara, number one
hold on
running
one
back.
second. Wait, hold on 1 second. Alvin Kamara just scored another touchdown.
Wow.
I mean, 4 TDs.
What was his record? 7?
No.
He scored 6 that one time, like,
Yeah,
it's wild.
on Christmas. I'll never forget that because that was one of the last fantasy leagues that I won, and with the money I won from that, I had to move. So
just so you know,
So-
I traded him the week before that happened.
Oh, no. Sean has a tendency of doing that. What was that trade you traded me with Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
It was like a 4. That was a holiday game, too, I believe.
Yeah, I lost that one.
Number 2 fantasy football right now. Quarterback, Derek Carr. Here's what's funny about that, right? As I'm at the game, paying attention, obviously my son is more important than fantasy football certain times. But I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm like, who the hell has Derek Carr? I'm like, mother? I'm not going to say it. Rat! Oh, the
And he was
rat.
given free, Kamish. It was a free trade.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it.
Oh, my God.
Well, it was crazy because I thought he was just a piece in that trade that he forgot to include. So I was like, okay, I'll just send it through. And then he was like, wait, I don't know why I did it. I'm like, well, what the fuck, Eddie?
Eddie.
Oh, shit, I wasn't supposed to say that probably. But
Eddie.
Eddie's got some issues. Hope you had your wellness check with him. I haven't heard from him. Actually, I
so
have.
here's a funny stat. Speaking of Derek Carr, air yards per attempt. Derek Carr in his entire career, he only had 2 seasons above 8 air yards per attempt, and this season under Clint Kubiak's offense, he's already at almost 13 air yards per attempt. Carr deserves his props, but another guy who deserves his props, Rashid Shaheed.
Yep.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
He's the number one.
What do you guys feel about Olave, man? Like
Maybe he's hurt. You just don't know.
I don't know. He's had games. Obviously, Sean, we talked about Drake London the same way.
Yeah.
Of like, we're waiting for the breakout. We're still waiting for the breakout with Olave. Look, if Shaheed goes down, you know how these receivers go down with hamstrings and this and that and Achilles and knees and especially the high flyers. We could see Olave have a breakout if if what's his name goes down. Packers Colts. It was a boring game, I felt.
53 rush attempts
That's-
to 14 passes for the Packers.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's old school.
53 rushes. You're just trying to wear your opponent out. What I love about that is, Sean and I were talking earlier this week about, bringing Michigan football to LA and, watching Gus and J.K. Dobbins doing that down there. It just reminded me of that. Like, it was smart coaching.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, this is a theme, I think, that I want to really gear towards with this episode of coaching makes a difference.
Yeah.
A huge difference.
Absolutely.
Right? We're talking about Derek Carr as the number 2 right now. And will it last? No. Not in my opinion. And then the same thing with the Vikings. You look at Sam Darnold when he was a Jet, and you're like, eesh.
Or Carolina. Even worse, he saw a ghost.
Poor Carolina had Sam Darnold. They had Baker. They moved on to bigger and better things like Big Red. Cardinals game. Let's go, Marvin Harrison Jr. Congratulations, kid. What a game. Holy shit. I was a little worried with week 1 with him and Kyler not being on the same page, but man, they were like, you know what? Let's go play ball, boys.
Yep. All over the place.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm so ticked off about the parlay I almost just won with Marvin Harrison. I think I sent it to you guys. It was ridiculous. All I needed was a Jaden Daniels rushing touchdown, which I thought was the most guaranteed of the bunch.
Me too.
I feel like you could tell that this game was going to be the Marvin Harrison Jr. breakout game. Being at home, it was in the division. Rams literally didn't get the memo that was supposed to be a shootout. Yeah, they had. I mean, obviously Cooper Kupp went down. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but both offenses, from what you saw with the Rams in Week 1, and then obviously how the Cardinals started the game, you thought it was just going to be a back and forth, 30-something to 30-something kind of game, and it was just the Rams have a lot of issues now all of a sudden. What
wide receiver is going to step up? Do you think that we could have, what's the rookie's name out there? I'm blanking on his name right now.
Jordan Whittington.
Yes, Whittington. I should know his name. He's on my taxi squad. But
you don't even know your team player names. Come on, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're not as easy as Hunt. Okay. Bullshit. I bet you want to bet that kid will have more points than Hunt this week.
No.
Why? You don't believe in Hunt? You signed him.
That's a logical bet. No.
Okay. It's a logical bet, okay? Not signing Kareem Hunt is not logical. I
can't wait for his first touchdown.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1 yard on the goal line when the other two do all the work.
Thanks,
P. Ryan and everybody else. You're welcome. Bucks Lions. That was my last week. That was my pick of the week for games. I love that game.
Great game.
I love Baker. Baker's back, baby. Baker's playing loose. He's playing fun. I think that team's going to make some moves in the playoffs. I think that potentially could have been
NFC Championship
preview right there. I just don't trust the Eagles coaching. You know, I really don't.
Maybe you're tanking for Belichick.
Could be. I mean, look, our owner's friends with him.
Yep.
He's having fun too, man. Belichick's on this show with Ocho Cinco. I'm enjoying it. Like, I've never seen that man smile ever in my life.
True colors are shining through.
Hey.
Well, I was gonna say the messed up part about all of that would be, so Matt Patricia was there last year. Yep. If Belichick comes on, does he bring Patricia back on as the defensive coordinator? I'm thinking, hell no.
It's going to be the good old boys, man.
Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you the problem why Belichick won't be able to go there. Howie won't let him take over football operations. That's the only way you get Belichick.
Maybe.
I'm telling you.
I never saw the man smile. I never saw the man in a shirt with sleeves. Now he's got a show with Ocho Cinco, and all those things are different. He's wearing sleeves. He's smiling. He's having a good time.
And a girlfriend.
Oh, he's got a girlfriend. Oh,
a granddaughter? I mean, girlfriend.
They're not related, bro.
All right.
I just bet from an age standpoint.
Dude, listen.
But really, though.
I don't want to bring this game up. All right, Steven, you're down in Jacksonville. Run us through this Browns game, man.
Kevin Stefanski's offense was very quick-hitting, and the Jaguars could not function defensively. And then when they got the ball on offense, they couldn't protect Trevor Lawrence enough to be able to make some throws, especially in the second half. The last 6 quarters, even Trevor Lawrence said it. We're a terrible team on offense right now.
Wow.
That's kind of... It's good that he at least is self-aware enough to see that.
Acknowledged it.
What'd you say, Fred? Oh, Fred's letting me know that tickets are, flights to Philly are only about $100, and the weather's been great up here. It's been cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Always got a spare room for you.
We got a spare room for you if you want to come on.
Where's your bachelor party, bro?
It's yet to be planned yet. That's my brother.
Oh, no. I love that.
You should have asked us. We don't have to be your best man. We'll just set up the bachelor party.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Epic.
We will figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Awesome.
Sunday night game, the 1913 Texans versus Bears. We got to see 2 potential, one is already established, but 2 potential star quarterbacks going head-to-head.
CJ Stroud's face looks like it has, 10 vials of Botox in his cheeks. It reminds me of a Muppet.
Listen, if we're gonna talk about players, I got to get this off my mind because it was really weird to just see. I was like, oh my god, they made a mistake. That's Robbie Anderson.
Oh my god!
I didn't know Robbie Anderson changed not only his last name but his first name. It's still Robbie, but he spells it different.
Yes, he does.
Did you know that? They put that picture up there.
What the hell was his last name?
Something with a C.
Chosen. Robbie Chosen.
Chosen. The chosen one.
The chosen one.
It's short for chosen last among everybody in the league because nobody wants to roster.
Last player picked. That was good.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, look at this.
Took off his helmet. We were like, whoa, that's Robbie Anderson.
Was his hair still like one of those like?
No, he's got color hair now with those things.
Yeah.
You got colored hair now?
No, that was just his picture.
Hair used to look like a jack.
It was awesome to see him. I thought he was out 3 years ago.
Let's talk about the favorite story to the start of the season. We have a few topics here. We have Sam Darnold reigniting his career. Actually igniting, like breaking out right now. It's only week 2. If you asked me at the beginning of the season, it would have been Green Bay and the Bears at the top of that division. Vikings are there.
Yeah.
Wow.
He matured. He's like Geno Smith. I mean, he's coming into his own. And he's in a scheme he could play. So that's where I see it happening.
Coaching.
Scheme,
J.K. Dobbins. I've had him. I've drafted him. I've had him in multiple leagues over the years. In one league, I just dropped him. I was just frustrated last year. I dropped him. I was done. I'm really happy for him. You know, he seems healthy. They're using him right. They're giving Gus, plenty of workload in the short yardage situations. Wow, J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, he finally gets to shine what we all were hoping to see.
It doesn't put all the pressure on Sam Darnold either. Or not Sam Darnold, I'm sorry, Justin Herbert, and he's banged up. He's got that plantar fasciitis early.
He's got gout. That's what he has.
He ain't got gout. He doesn't like shellfish, dude.
Hey,
he's fine. Beer. Yeah, well, we all do. Cheers. Cheers. You did once.
Yeah.
No, you don't drink beer unless you have a rim job.
I should have had one.
Steve, do you know what a rim job is? Let me explain it for you.
No, let's just show it to him next week. It's pumpkin.
All right, yeah. Well, all right, so,
we'll show the rim job to the cover. Yeah, we're going to give you a rim job.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Some people's struggles are other people's wins. I'm sorry for those people that have drafted Sam Laporta. I think with Ahmad getting banged up, Laporta's going to get a few more looks. But is Brock Bowers this year's?
Look at the targets.
Sam Laporta.
He's getting so many target shares. They're just bombing it. He looks great.
Yeah.
Like
he's the real deal. I don't know what else to say that I didn't say last week. He's just phenomenal. He can do just about anything you want as a tight end. And with how bad the position is this year, we'll get to our start sits of the week for sure. But you can't stink and trust the tight end right now, except Brock Bowers.
He's number 1.
Yeah, I mean Kelsey's numbers went down. Everybody that you thought was going to be in the top 5 isn't there.
Yeah. Thanks, Likely.
All right, take a deep breath. This game that I watched last night.
Oh, that was awesome.
With the Birds versus the Dirty Birds.
Versus Rat.
Me versus Rat.
Me versus you. Never had a chance.
Listen. it's kind of like the Giants. They never have a chance. Not with Daniel Jones behind the helm.
Not with Kevin Jinks on your team.
Listen, we're 1-1. Are you 1-1 in make fantasy football great again?
Really? Want to make a slap bet?
No.
Why? Do you think I'm 1-1 or 0-2 or 2-0?
Jesus Christ! Let's get to the goddamn Birds game.
2-0 on top.
Don't worry, he'll blow it. He always does. He can't keep his hand out of the tree.
I'm 1-1. I've had 2 shitty weeks and somehow I'm 1-1. But I'm playing for next year, so it's all good.
Let me break this down, okay? Rat has Derek Carr. He's got CeeDee Lamb. He had a good game, right? My issue was going into Monday night, where Rat has
Jalen Hurts,
and Johan Dotson. And all I kept thinking was one touchdown would ruin it. Would just ruin it. I'm like, this is what in my vision. I'm like, Johan Dotson's gonna have 37 yards and one touchdown, and that's gonna be it. And I'm done. Game over.
Okay, with only like 3 minutes left.
It came down to
the last 3 minutes.
The last 3 minutes, and me and Sean are sitting in the living room. And we're watching this game, and I'm like,
penalty. They had to push it back all the way to like the 16. It was like 3rd and 16 or something like that. And then the pass. That
pushed Rat 0.25 over my score. I had no players last night. 0.25. I started writing to Rat. I'm like, hey, good game. Good sportsmanship. I started writing it. And then I saw the interception. Sean's like, you just won. I'm like, what? I'm like, no. I was like, I'm still down by 0.25.
Sleeper slow this year, bro.
No. He's like, refresh your phone, idiot. I refreshed it, and there it was, -2 points. It comes down to the last play. I hated seeing the Eagles do that. I hated it. Their coaching was horrible. They could have ran the ball. Even if you don't get the first down, you take 40 seconds off the clock and you kick a field goal.
But they lost on one play, man. It was one play they lost.
Sean,
if he caught
40 seconds
the ball, Barkley would have sealed the game. They had no timeouts.
I understand that.
I hated the play call. I said it from the jump. I hated that play call. So here's the thing. It was 3rd and 3. You run it with Saquon, who had been efficient all game. He'd had some up and downs throughout the middle of it, but when they got back to running it well, he was doing pretty good, and he was getting them down there. You get your 2 yards that you would get with Saquon Barkley behind that offensive line, and then you push on 4th down, and that's the game. And here's the thing. Like, people are going to say, oh, well, Saquon, it was a bad luck drop. I don't want to take chances with luck. Don't make it look flashy. Don't get too cute with it. Just win the damn game. And if they just ran it again, the worst that happens is they don't get it on 4th down, but they would have to go for a field goal.
But he threw it on the 3rd down,
to stop it. Yeah, exactly.
That's our point. That's our point, clock. Sean. 98% of the time, Barkley comes down with that.
Yeah, I know.
You saw the catch last week. He's got good hands. Did you see the catch last week?
It was one catch, guys. Enjoy it. Like I said, you're gonna have Barkley moments.
You don't want your running back.
It wasn't a Barkley moment. It was a coaching moment.
It was a coaching moment, but he should have made the catch.
Yes,
I agree. But he should.
I agree. That was about as catchable a ball as you're gonna see.
Yeah.
But it's I don't want to trust my running back's hands with the game on the line like that.
I am making my excuses because the coaching staff should have never made that call.
But the player should have made the catch. The coach made the play. So what? Make the catch.
So when Danny Dimes is out there throwing
what? They don't let him throw. Let him throw. They finally let him throw it to Neighbor.
So why don't they let him throw? Because the coaching staff knows that he fucking blows, and they don't trust him.
That's their fault.
Coaching again. He doesn't see it.
Coaching.
He will when it's on video that he is wrong. I agree that Saquon should have caught the ball, but he should have never been put in that position. Everybody
agrees that.
I disagree.
Should have been in that position.
It was a simple catch.
Exactly. It was a simple catch, and guess what? He was
go on to the show. You follow your thing. It's over. You lost. Fuck Barkley.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, if you run it on 3rd down, you're obviously winding the clock. On 4th down, you just keep winding the clock, and if you're not going to go for it, run it down and make them jump off sides. Either you get a delay game and it's a slightly longer 20-something yard field goal,
from the 40-yard line.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Come on. Pay attention.
I am paying attention.
You're not paying attention.
I don't understand where that came from. It's the kind of shit that, as someone who roots for the Eagles, it's just frustrating to see coaching moves like that this far into a guy's tenure.
So it's the players' fault that we lost the last 7 out of 9 games.
You should have fired him, man.
Hey, we beat the Giants. The Giants are one of those wins.
It's good for you.
Thank you. All right. Yo, Thursday Night Football, man. It was amazing. watching these two kids run up and down the field with Cook and A-Chain. It was a show.
It was.
A-Chain would have been the number one running back of the week if it weren't for Kamara with a 4-touchdown game.
I couldn't believe how much they used an injured player. Maybe he wasn't injured, but they just kept letting him have the ball. That's it. It was 80% of their plays was A-Chain.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a smart move.
He's good. It's my first time really seeing him, so.
He's great.
I mean, for me, I love James Cook. I think that, this undersized back, they obviously need a bruiser. Do you guys think that the NFL is going more towards that two-back bruiser versus flyer?
I'm seeing a lot more fullbacks this year than I've seen in a long time in the NFL. A lot of fullback.
It's so much fun to see. I love it.
Yo, one of my favorite fullbacks of all time, John Ritchie. Shout out to Ritchie. Love him. Smart guy.
That's probably my number one in terms of fullbacks, but yeah.
Allstott
he was a great player. I just hate him.
I understand.
He was a great player, yeah. Him and Warwick Dunn in those Buccaneer days. Oh boy! But I got a little fantasy story that goes through the Jalen Hurts interception, that goes through the running back situation that we're talking about. So in one of my leagues, I faced James Cook, I faced Alvin Kamara, and I still won.
Wow!
And I have Jalen Hurts. So as soon as the Saints game was happening, I'm thinking, I have no freaking chance. But this is also a super flex league, so I had Hurts, and I had Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison stack.
Oh, wow, nice.
Which was great. And Malik Neighbors and Devon Achane. I was down by, I think, 6 or 7 points going into this matchup, facing Drake London and having Jalen Hurts. Next thing you know, Falcons are driving down. Drake London scores a touchdown. It becomes I believe, 3-point game for my matchup.
Yeah.
And then he throws the pick, and I'm like, oh, shit, where do I stand now? And I ended up just winning by 2 points.
Wow.
And just so you know, you never quit that game like my partner here, who was already saying he lost the day before, and I had to prove to him that Rat was going to lose by no points.
Yeah, I did not understand the whole conceding.
A point and a half.
You saw Derek Carr going off.
Don't care.
No Stradamus.
I still believed in you.
Your team is still good. Even after that bad trade you made.
Rat lost by less than 2 points. He would have beat, I think, 6 out of 8
He would have beat me.
Yeah, he would have beat. We would have beat you. You would have been 1-1.
Yep. Well, not though.
I would have been beaten by everybody except for who I played this week, except for Daly.
Poor Daly.
Poor Daly. All right, so let's move on to our sits in place this week. I'm going to start out with Amari Cooper having a game against those New York Giants. I think he's due for a breakout. I don't know if he's hurt. Deshaun finally had an okay game against Jacksonville. You're going against another horrible team.
Meh.
Okay. Okay.
I hope so. I've lost Cooper Kupp in one of my leagues where he's my third receiver, so he better kind of step up. I hope it happens.
All right.
I don't. I want the Big Blue to go.
All right, Sean.
My start of the week, and I'll keep doing it, is Brock Bowers. I am not going to lose those hands right now. I'm sorry. He's shown up. He's a young kid. He wants to play ball.
He does want to play ball. He's playing ball. Love it. So Brock Bowers is playing Carolina. So you're taking.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the matchup. I mean, why wouldn't you take?
You're taking the opposite of my strategy of the defensive players against Carolina. Got it.
Yep.
Good. All right, Eggman. What's your start of the week?
So you chose a tight end. You chose a wide receiver. I think I'm going to go to the running back, but I'm torn on 2, so I'll just name them both. I was going to go Zamir White versus Carolina for obvious reasons. He hasn't been doing great either, and Alexander Madison's gotten some of the touches. Zamir needs his confidence back, so maybe he gets the rock about 15, 20 times and scores a touchdown, gets his share of like 10, 15 points. And then the other running back was going to be DeAndre Swift, facing the Colts.
Who's been
facing the Colts, who were bruised up by Josh Jacobs last week, and then Joe Mixon, who went off. And I think that's a pretty good pick in DeAndre Swift to be a really good flex play.
Okay.
I'd like to see it happen, man. I like Swift.
Yeah, I did too. I always liked him on Detroit. They moved on from him. Philly doesn't. What's ironic about Barkley signing? Philly never pays the running backs. Look at like Miles Sanders. They moved on from him. Yep. They moved on from Swift, and then they're like, here's a paycheck.
But my thing is, if Swift doesn't come out, let's start your eyes looking at Herbert. He's a young kid. Yeah. He knows the system. Like, he might be a stash you put away now. Because if Swift doesn't do anything this week, you're going to see the kid.
Yeah. All right, my sit of the week. Mentioned him earlier. Mr. Irrelevant. Olave versus Philly. I
don't like the game.
I don't like the game either. After seeing what they did to Dallas and torched Dallas. I know schemes are a lot of it. It's not that Carr doesn't like him. I don't know them personally. But
Olave might be getting all the double teams and Shaheed's, but now they're going to flip the script. I mean, they're probably going to be all over Shaheed, and Olave might have that game.
The Eagles just giving up a lot of big plays, especially late in the game, but they even gave up that play to Mooney for the touchdown.
Mooney looked great.
Their big play. He was great, but I'm saying, like, with their ability to give up the big play like that, I feel like Shaheed's another good start this week against them, just in case he gets like 3 or 4 catches, 100-something yards, and a touchdown. I think it's very possible.
Okay. Sean, who's your sit of the week?
Stafford. He was one of my starting quarterbacks, but I'm on the flex train now, man. I don't trust them.
Way to play it safe. Stafford versus the Niners defense with no wide receivers. Way to play it safe.
Well, it's a sit, motherfucker. He ain't going on mine. He ain't starting for me. I don't care.
I can see that game being pretty low scoring.
Yeah.
I initially wanted to name Brock Purdy as a start, given how Kyler did and how many times it seemed like the Rams would go 3 and out. But I don't know, with Debo out now, it kind of was why I leaned towards Zamir White and Swift.
Nice.
But as far as my sit, guys, name a tight end that's not Brock Bowers.
Mark Andrews.
Sit.
Wow.
Sam Laporta, sit.
What about Kelsey?
George Kittle,
Does he
maybe
get a
not
catch
sit,
this year?
but maybe squat.
I want to know about Kelsey. When is he going to come up?
Well, playoffs. When ball really matters. In the playoffs.
Do you think they don't throw to him because Taylor's in the crowd and don't want to embarrass him?
No, they've been showing her every game, man.
That's why they won't throw the ball to him now.
So you getting punished for your girlfriend? Yeah.
They're kind of playing a pretty conservative game for sure, I feel like. They're doing a lot of short passes. They relied a lot on Pacheco, and I don't know, they're just not throwing it to Kelsey nearly as much as anybody's hopes.
I think it's part of the scheme, though. I think he's going to unleash him very soon. I think for the first 2 weeks, they opened the door, like, we're only throwing outside, and Pacheco. And he had that 41-yard return off of that penalty. So he would have had a significant game. But I think the way they're trying to show their team this year, they get the tape all messed up for them. Then they unleash Kelsey again.
So
very fair.
So, Eggman, let me get this right. You think Brock Bowers is going to be the number 1 tight end this week?
I don't really see how he couldn't be with that matchup.
It's such,
he's the only tight end I trust.
It's
he's
such
the only tight end I trust now.
It's like, think about this, right? If you had the kicker from Washington, if you have this random tight end that goes off, these are the positions that, like, you're like, yeah, they shouldn't be there, but they are, and they help you win.
Yeah.
You know?
My problem building my teams in years past was always towards the end trying to find that tight tier tight end into the playoffs, and I lose because they suck.
Yeah. I mean, look, how many people out there last year won their championship because of Sam Laporta? Think about all the years with Kelsey. If you had Kelsey, Gronk, Jimmy Graham,
yeah,
in their prime,
yep, 3 years. Yeah, a great year.
That's a tight end that is getting wide receiver numbers.
Yep.
So it's important. It's important. I mean, I look at that with kickers too. You know, I'm like, you know, use a great kicker in Atlanta, but is Atlanta a top?
Is he Justin Tucker?
No, but
exactly.
Is he a top flight offense? Are they going to be in the red zone a lot? Are they? You're right. Like, all right. Here's a trivia question. Who's the kicker for Carolina? Because he probably has more points than goddamn their quarterback. Honestly, the kicker probably has more points than
$30 million a year. Yeah. He deserves $30 million.
Oh my god! All right, so listen, I did have the Dolphins game in for my game of the week. I obviously changed it after Tua's melon got smushed. I am really looking forward to this game because there's a lot of things on the line. Ravens. Oh, Cowboys. Sorry, Steven. I just realized that you
That's
put
what
that in
I
there.
was too.
I'm like, shit.
I didn't even pick the game. Someone wrote it in for me. I was like, oh, okay. That might be my game.
Idiot.
Listen, Ravens versus them boys. The implications are huge, all right? The percentages of playoff teams going 0-3, not good. Right now, the Ravens are sitting at 0-2 with, was it last year that he got the MVP?
Yes.
Yeah. With last year's MVP behind the helm, they're 0-2.
So the question now I have with this game is Dallas defense, with all their issues they had last week, and the porous offensive line of Baltimore, who's going to win the battle is really the question.
I think the Ravens take it. They need this game. They're going to be playing desperate ball.
It depends about what I just said, because the defense was screwed last week.
Yeah, but they don't have a downfield
Yeah, it's about
guy.
the trenches for sure.
They don't have a downfield guy. They are short, pound it in your face, beat you up on the line.
Who? Baltimore?
Baltimore.
Did you see how the Chiefs just ran through them?
Yes.
They're going to have a huge problem.
My point
have a good
is,
offensive
the
line,
running
though.
back is Derrick Henry. He is going to hit you hard. He's going to hit you in the face.
Okay.
I'm not worried about the line right now.
I understand why it's a very significant game to see what they do.
It's a dink and dunk game for the Ravens, right? Is it not?
33 yards. Good job, Zay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
My game of the week, Detroit versus Carolina.
Okay, listen. Carolina, how do you spell it? Because that says Cardinals.
That's what I meant. Cardinals.
Yeah. How do you spell
I
Carolina?
can't see, man. I got a foggy
Detroit
eye.
in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's not what it says.
Yeah.
When I said the game, I'm like, why would I pick Carolina? That's not what I meant. It's the Cardinals, and I think it's going to be a shootout. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Goff needs to redeem himself, and I think Murray is doing what he's doing, and Jameson Williams is doing what he's doing, and Harrison's beginning. It's going to be a shootout.
I love that pick.
I just hope both teams get the memo this time.
Yeah, I know. I really enjoy that pick. I didn't see the latest on Amon. Is he going to be playing? Is he
Maybe it's day to day.
Day to day.
He's not as hurt as because Jefferson went down pretty bad too in the
He's day to day.
Vikings
Yeah,
Niners, and he ended up not being as bad as initially thought. So I
They
think
were both like,
him
I
and
think,
Amon
contusions
are
at the end of the day, right? Contusions at the end of the day.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Jefferson was, Amon was cramps.
Ah.
He had to shit. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the way he was like, am I going on the field? Am I not? No, he went to the locker room because he had to poop.
Okay.
Yo, have you ever gotten like the snot knocked out of you and like you have to poop? It's not good.
I have a lot of things that I don't like to discuss what I do in the mornings.
I do not beat you in the morning, right?
Yeah, nobody's beating me except me.
Okay. Hey man, what's your game of the week?
Okay, so since you took the Cowboys-Ravens game, I got an interesting pick, and this is two 2-0 teams that probably not a lot of people thought would be 2-0. Chargers and Steelers.
Yes. The Steelers are going to get their
I think
shit
it's
handed to them. Although
I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game
No.
at all, but you know what? It's two teams trying to make you play their type of football. And Justin Fields obviously has gotten off to a really solid start, given that he's 2-0 and looks like a competent quarterback in the league.
You know what would make that game perfect? Rain. Just miserable weather. Like mud. And I would love to see that game just like downpour and they're just beating the shit out of each other. That
would be a perfect like snow bowl type of game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Too early.
One of my favorite games that I've ever witnessed was that Lions-Eagles game in 2013 where there was all the snow. I mean, nobody wanted to be there. Nobody really wanted. Shady went off, and I mean, it was like the infamous pictures you saw of Megatron with the snow in the helmet, and I was...
I'm telling you, they were making passes in the snow.
Very unforgettable.
All right, guys. Well, it was an amazing week, too.
It was.
I can't wait for Thursday. I really can't wait for
Jets and New England.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that game, but
I'm excited.
But
I'm excited.
Just like your pick with a lot or whatever you said.
Meh. Yeah, meh. Yeah, for me, it's a meh game. Like it's not one of those exciting games that we just talked about. If it was your game of the week, you didn't put it on there.
No,
okay?
it was
you want to see Carolina play.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Anyway, bro.
Yo, we are 4th and 3 Amigos podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Give us those subscribes so that we can get Fred a bigger pot. Here we are. Okay. We're out.
Thank you, guys.